Welcome to People Who Inspire. I'm your host, Mary Drelizak. My guest today is Art McGann. At the age of nearly 95, he proves that age is just a number. We're here to discover what keeps him so young and what has made him strong throughout his life. Thanks so much for being with us. All right, so Art, what does a week in your life look like? Tell me about your days and what you do.
Well, now, my weeks, especially in the summertime, I get up at 6:30 in the morning and I go down to McDonald's and I meet a bunch of guys down there. Most of them, none of them quite as old as me, but they're all in their past or 65s. And we sit down there and BS and just sit around and talk about everything, you know. We solve all the problems from the government and everything, but the only thing is nobody listens to us. But I think a lot of us are a lot smarter than the people in Washington are.
Of course.
Because we have the answers to a lot of things, but nobody wants to pay any attention to us.
Well, at least you have each other.
That's right, that's right.
And you have your coffee,
Yep.
and that's your regular group. How long have you been doing that?
Well, I've been doing that for probably 15 years.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Same group of guys.
I worked until I was, I didn't retire till I was 78.
Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And I'm 94 now. So.
Wow. So you haven't had a lot of retirement between you and work. So
Right,
you're
yeah.
certainly living
So,
it.
Yeah, I enjoy what we do,
Yes.
and like I say, in the summertime, I come home here and I usually read the paper. On days that I go golfing, we usually tee off about 10:30 in the morning, and a bunch of guys out there, and I usually get back home about 2:30 or 3 o'clock, and I sit down in the chair and take a nap.
Well, you should after all that.
Yeah,
Now, where do you golf?
out at the Pleasant Valley. Well, it used to be Pleasant Valley Country Club, but now it's the Pleasant Valley Golf Club.
Okay, very good.
Tuffy Schallenberger bought the club, and he's renovating it now, and I mean, he is renovating it.
Is it beautiful?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So
That's great.
anyhow, that's what we do.
Yeah.
And usually on Tuesdays, my wife and I go into the Oaks for wings on Tuesday evening, and Wednesdays we normally go down to Bud Murphy's and we meet Dave Hoch's wife. He died a couple years ago, so we take her down there and we sit around and BS. And on Saturday night we take Mrs. Schmidl out, and we go out every Saturday night someplace to eat. And we've been doing that for 65 years.
Wow.
Her and her husband and Dorothy and I, we used to go out every Saturday night.
Wow.
We go to different places, every place, you know.
Do you have a favorite spot?
Not really.
Yeah.
They're all.
Usually in Connellsville, or do you go?
Well, in Connellsville, we did a lot of different places.
Yes.
Like she gets her hair done on Friday. I don't go to the McDonald's on Friday because that's hair day. So I take her down to Tina's, she gets her hair done, and maybe we'll go over to Valley Dairy and we'll have our breakfast there. And then we go to Martin's and get our groceries for the next week. And then we come home, and Sunday morning I go to church, and I go to church at 9 o'clock. I go to the Otterbein Methodist, but she goes to the Church of the Brethren, which is right down the street here, and she doesn't go till 11 o'clock. So whenever we get out of church at 11 o'clock, then we go out to eat.
Very good. So you go to two churches
Yeah.
every Sunday.
Every Sunday, yeah.
Something going on every single day. Church twice on Sunday.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yours amazing. Yeah, that's wonderful.
And it keeps me off the streets.
That does keep
Yeah,
it's keeping you out of trouble.
Yeah.
I know it is. I know it is. And we're sitting on your back patio, your beautiful yard, probably the most beautiful yard in Connellsville. You
Oh.
keep it so perfect.
Well,
the
we
grass.
we work at it. And
There's not a weed to be found in the whole yard. So tell me about that. You take care of your own lawn.
yeah, yep. And we have a edger for the sidewalk, so we get done walking, we edge the sidewalks.
You do that?
And, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And they have a blower and blow everything off, and and pick it up and put it in a bag and send it out to the garbage people when they come.
Wow.
And everybody that comes around the corner, then they say, boy, your yard is always squared off perfect, you know.
It is.
Well, we work at it, you know.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
And it's exactly true. The first time I came here and I came around the bend, I'm like, whoa. It's like it's so soft and plush.
Yeah.
And you also sometimes cut your neighbor's yard.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So-
We work together.
That's pretty nice.
If something happens that, like if sometimes if we happen to go down to South Carolina where my son lives, and we're gone in the summertime, well, then he does all my yard the same as I do his yard. And
That's nice.
but they're very good neighbors. We work together and everything. And anything I do, I got something too heavy to work with, he comes and does it, and you know.
That's
So
great
yeah,
neighborhood.
this is a good neighborhood.
Definitely.
In the evening, they'll come around and we'll all sit on each other's back porch or patios or out in the yard. She got all kind of furniture stuff over there, and they, we have a good time together.
That's nice. That's really great. That's a blessing. And you also you work out three
Oh, yeah.
times a week.
Yep.
So what does that look like? What do you do?
Well, I just get down in the basement there, and I do my treadmill, and I do my weights, the lifting, my feet, my arms, my legs, and I get on a bicycle and ride a few miles on it, and it just keeps me fit.
It definitely
Yeah.
keeps you fit.
Yeah.
Definitely keeps you fit. On top, so you on top of golfing, so you're doing exercising 3 times a week.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a regimen that you do.
Yeah.
And then you golf. That's a lot of exercise. 18 holes.
Oh yeah.
Jeez, yes,
I'm not a very good golfer anymore because I don't have the strength that I used to have, you know.
Yeah.
But I hit the ball down the fairway.
You
I'm
can-
hardly ever in any trouble because I can't hit it that far to get in trouble.
That's
you know.
good.
So, but I enjoy it.
That's
yeah,
great.
Yeah,
And you golf with a group of people.
yeah. We have what they call a SWAT out there for people that don't have anybody to play with, and be a bunch of guys, like maybe there be 15, 20 guys, and we just make up teams, and
That's nice.
we go out and hit the ball.
That's great.
Yeah, we have a good time.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful. So where did you grow up, Art?
I grew up here in Connellsville. I
Okay.
was born out in Snydertown
Okay.
on Locust Street, 619 Locust Street.
Okay.
The house is still standing there.
Yeah.
And my grandparents built that house in 1908. And that's the year my mother and dad got married. And they moved in with their parents, or her parents, and they never moved out.
Wow.
So the house was like 3 stories high. And we had 12 kids in our family,
Oh my goodness.
7 boys and 5 girls. And it was, mealtime was quite a chore.
How did you do it? How did they feed 12 kids
Well,
at one time?
In the kitchen, we had an oval type table, but there was only 10 people could get around it. So there was 6 of us, and we had steps going upstairs. So 2 of us on the bottom step, and 2 of us halfway up, and 2 of us up on the landing. So the 6 of us sort of sit on the steps and ate, and the others was there were 16 people to sit down at every meal, you know.
So you didn't have to eat in shifts, but you had to eat in separate
Oh, yeah.
places. That's what mealtime looks like on holidays
Yeah.
for people. That's what it was like for you every day.
And back in the Depression, there was, you had about the same thing to eat every day. Well, most of our meals was navy beans and fried potatoes.
Okay.
My mother had 3 big skillets, cast iron skillets with fried potatoes in. And she had a big pot about that big, and that was her navy beans. And we did eat it every way, and we'd put ketchup on the beans and stuff like that. And my mother would make 9 loaves of bread every other day.
Wow.
And she had to get, to feed that many kids.
That's right.
And but it was,
Yeah.
we never wanted anything. Just we never had any luxury, so to speak.
Right.
Because during the Depression, there was very few people had any jobs. The only people who was working in Connellsville were the people that worked in the utility companies and the railroad. Most of your coal mines were shut down at that time, which is when my dad worked on it. So then they came out with the WPA, the government did. It's called the Works Progress Administration.
They built East Park, didn't they?
That's it. They built East Park, and they built that wall going up out of the by the railroad there, goes up over the hill.
Right. Okay, on Arch Street.
Right. And they built that sewer line from South Connellsville clear down to where the sewage plant is now.
Okay.
And my dad worked on that, and the WPA, and the wages at that time was $52.80 a month.
Wow.
For a month.
Wow.
And then he got promoted to foreman, and he got $60 a month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, well, that went on, and of course then the war came along, and I signed up for the Air Force in my senior year in school. I had two brothers that was already in the service. They went to the Army in 1935, and then another brother joined the Navy, and I joined the Air Force. My last brother, he joined the Navy also, so we had 2 in the Army and 2 in the Navy, and I was in the Air Force.
All at the same time?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. We was all overseas at the same time, and we all got to come home. But my one brother stayed in. He stayed in for 26 years.
Okay.
And he never married, and he made an Army career out of it.
That's great.
Enjoyed every minute of it, you know.
That's wonderful.
So, yeah.
So you all served in World War II.
Yeah.
And you all made it safely home,
Yeah.
to the delight of your mom, I'm sure.
Right.
Huh.
I was in the Air Force. I was in a B-24 bomber, 4-engine bomber, and we crashed a plane in California, taking off for overseas. We hit a high-tension tower, and we landed in a swamp, and the navigator fell out, and the propeller fell in his face and killed him. And the assistant engineer, he burnt to death inside the plane. And the rest of us got out of the plane, and I spent 19 days in the hospital from that, and then they gave me 30-day leave to come home till my hair grew back and my burns healed and so forth. Went back to California, and 3 days later I was on a plane going to Guadalcanal.
Oh my goodness.
That was my first
Wow.
mission.
Wow. Wow.
So I was over there for 13 months. I flew 43 missions. And I got to go to Australia twice on rest leave. And I got credit for shooting down 3 jet planes. And it was one great experience.
I imagine it was.
Yeah.
Imagine it was. How many years did you serve?
3 years.
3
yeah.
years. Okay.
Yep.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
And I came home, and first, when you got out of the service at that time, 1945, the state of Pennsylvania, they had what they called a 52-20 club.
Okay.
You could sign up for $20 a month for 12 months.
Okay.
And I did that for two months, I think. I thought, well, this is no good for me. So anyhow, I went to a local plumber downtown, Charlie White, and I got a job there as an apprentice plumber.
Okay.
I started in there at 65 cents an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that good at the time? 65? No,
no.
that wasn't good at the time.
But I stayed there 5 years.
Right.
At the end of 5 years, I was making $2 an hour.
Wow.
But then my other brother, he was on construction, carpenter. So he told me that, he said, I can get you on with us over there. You want to with the Connellsville Dam over in Blairsville. So I got on there, and I was making $7.50 an hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now that was good.
Yeah.
Was that good?
I thought I died and went to heaven.
I would say that was good.
Yeah. So that's been after a year or two of that, then so we bought this house over here that I was telling you about.
Right.
And we lived there for 50 years. And
How many children?
2 boys, man.
2 boys?
2 boys.
Okay.
My oldest son now is, he'll be 72 in July.
Okay.
And the other will be 68 in July.
Wow. Now tell me about your lovely wife And how many years have you been married?
In July, we'll be married 73 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So what's your secret to a long and happy marriage?
Well, there's no secret.
There's no secret.
It's a fight all the way. You got to suck it up a lot of times. It's a give and take situation.
It's a give and take.
Yeah.
It's working.
Oh yeah, it's working.
It's working very, very well.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
But
that's awesome.
yeah, we've been blessed to
Yes.
have the health we have,
Yes.
and to be at our age, and
Absolutely.
we're only 2.5 month difference in our age. Mine's in June and hers is in August.
Very good. So no major health concerns over the years. You've done well.
No, I never had a.
That's
the only thing I did have a gallbladder attack when I had to have a gallbladder taken out, and that's the only thing I've ever had
That's amazing.
to my body.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
When you're taking care of yourself too, so that makes a big difference.
Yeah.
If you could go back and do anything differently, would you?
No, I don't think.
No.
The only thing I ever regretted that when I got discharged, they had that there GI Bill. I could have went to college, but unfortunately we had a son a year after we got married on July the 20th. He was born on July the 19th, and we got married on the 20th with a year difference. But we don't tell people about that year.
It's more interesting.
So everybody thinks we had to get married. Yeah. But I would have liked to went to college.
If you had gone to college, what would you have gone for?
Oh, I really didn't have any preference or anything.
That's right.
I could probably. I don't think I could have. I might have lived a little bit more affluent life, but everything we got, we worked for.
Exactly.
So we just.
Yes, and you've had a happy life.
Yeah, and I don't regret it.
Absolutely not. No, absolutely a happy life. And what advice do you have to people about just living a happy life, just being grateful for what you have?
Well, it's got to the place there's so much dissension now about everything, and it seems like there's so much hate being built up about just the things that's like it's happening in this country right now. It used to be when people got elected to office. I remember back talking about the WPA. We had a guy from Perryopolis. His name was J. Buell Snyder. He was our congressman from this area. And he got so much done in this area through the WPA because he was concerned about this area, and trying to build it up.
Right.
And like I say, you build all these things. The stadium out here, we have the stadium. And the Springfield Pike up there over the mountain and everything like that. It was all done by the WPA.
That's amazing. That's a legacy.
Yeah, that's right.
It is a legacy.
But today,
that we still get to enjoy.
But today, it's all you have is bickering, and it's all party and money. There's an awful good article in last week's Time magazine, written by Stephen Brill, and people ought to read that because he says the country it's not about individuals anymore or pride or anything else. It's all about money and politics.
Well, it's up to each one of us to be the difference.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
And and even when you was kids growing up, man, we was out on the street when we come home from school. We was playing ball and stuff like that. And you knew when it got dark, you had to be home and stuff like that. Today, you don't see kids out playing hardly anymore. All they're playing with is this thing they can carry in their hand. And everybody has a cell phone in their pocket or something.
Very different.
And people's walking down the street and they're looking at that damn thing. I don't know how to do it. I mean, I have a little one about that big. It sits in my car, and I have it there in case of an emergency.
That's right.
I haven't made a phone call on it in 3 months.
Haven't had haven't had an
No,
emergency.
I
That's a
don't,
good thing.
yeah, I don't care about that
That's
stuff.
right.
You know.
That's right. Right.
And I just can't do it.
Well, certainly what you can appreciate is the art of communication, the art of
That's
being
right.
able to have a conversation and
That's
just
right.
just kind of share it in that way.
Just like we're doing right now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sit on the porch in the evening and just talk to your neighbors.
Yeah.
That's special.
That's camaraderie.
That
yeah.
is special. That is
Yeah.
special. If you were going to give advice to a high school graduate, kids are getting ready to graduate, what advice would you give to them?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I've always been in favor of boys when they get out of the school. They should have to spend at least 1 year in the service, if nothing else, just to learn how to take orders from other people and learn what you have and being told what to do. And you learn a lot that way. These kids today, of course, there's a lot of this starts because both parents are working and they don't have time for the kids, so the kids kind of rule the roost. And I know several families that they just, in order to get the kid, here's $20, go to the movie. You know, I got to. If somebody had handed me $20 when I was a kid, I thought I'd died and went to heaven.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
You have to work for every penny.
Yeah, every penny.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
certainly, and I've heard many other people say too about that military experience changed their life.
That's right.
It gave them discipline and order.
That's exactly
and,
right.
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
did really turn their life around.
And you learn how to get along with other people because you depended on everybody else.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly. You're a team,
Yeah.
and it's up to each one of you to survive.
Right. And when
That-
you went to war,
Yeah.
you were dependent on the other guy
Yes, yes.
that was with you
Yes.
because he had to have your back and you had to have his back.
That's
yeah.
bonding.
That's exactly right.
That is bonding. Yeah. And
But-
do you stay in touch with them? Anybody that you served with
They're all
over
dead.
the years? They're all. Have you survived all of them?
My crew's all gone. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Wow. Well, Art, you are an inspiration. You are an inspiration. Thank you for your service.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Thanks for letting us spend time on your back porch.
I run into a lot of people that even when I'm sitting down at McDonald's, you know, I'll have my hat on,
Yes.
and people will walk up to you and thank you for your service and so
Yes.
forth.
Yes.
And we've been out there already eating, and you get time to pay the bill with it. Those girls say, "Well, your bill's already been taken care of."
Isn't that
I
nice?
said, "By who?" Well, I don't know. You know,
Isn't that
yeah,
nice?
they
For
don't-
your service.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
just, but the bad thing, just like there's not too many of us World War II guys left. You know,
That's true.
we're dying off.
And I know that because through the Connellsville Canteen and the Fayette Cultural Trust, we did veteran videos through Connellsville High School's Falcon Productions.
Yeah.
And you were one of them that I got to, that had the joy to talk to. And it was hard to find. We talked to 4 veterans, World
Yeah.
War II veterans, and it was very difficult to find.
Yeah.
So we're so honored to be able to talk to you today.
That's very nice.
Thank you. I'm going to come back and sit on your porch.
Well,
Does that sound good?
it's
With some
always
iced tea.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much, Art, for being with us today.
I thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Thank you so much. Art really teaches us that it's up to us to decide how we're going to live every day and every moment that we're given. We're grateful for his service as a military veteran and that he spent time with us today. Thanks so much again for being with us.